Welcome to Get Better Basketball Live. Today, my guest is none other than Coach DeMarco, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek into my Coach Tube course on Chicago action. Chicago action is one of the most popular actions in the game today, and you'll see why. I love Chicago action, and I've been studying it in detail for the last year and a half. You're not going to want to miss this episode. But before I jump into it, make sure you hit that like button down below, turn on your notifications, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great video breakdowns each and every week. And also make sure you check out the link in the description for my complete course on the Chicago Series 2.0, where I break down Chicago action, SSGs, and drills to go with it, and also advanced Chicago actions like Chicago twist and staggered Chicago. Now let's check out Chicago action. So what is Chicago action? It's a really popular action that includes a pin down that we see here from 04 for 02 into a dribble handoff that we see here from 01. The most popular alignments are horn sets and 5-out, but Chicago action can really be initiated out of any setup, and that's one of the many things that I love about it. Now let's talk about why Chicago action. It's difficult to defend. It's a screen into a dribble handoff. Defenses have to decide, are they going to switch it? Are they going to try to hard hedge it? Are they going to soft hedge it? How are they going to defend this action that includes multiple screens? You have your pin down, and then you have your dribble handoff, which also acts as a screen. It creates an advantage for the offense. As soon as that dribble handoff is initiated, you typically see a small advantage. If the defender decides to trail on the hip of that player on the dribble handoff, there's your advantage. If they go under the screen, you also have an advantage because now that player can step back behind the screen and knock down an open shot. Are they going to switch it, as I talked about? Are they going to come over it and trail, or are they going to come under it? Whatever they decide is going to create a distinct advantage for the offense. Most importantly, it allows players to make decisions and play basketball. The current style of basketball focuses in on a 3 or key mentality. Chicago action is perfect for this 3 or key mentality. But when I think about it, a lot of the small sided games that coaches are using in practice focus in on making decisions and creating small advantages. Well, if you have a team that is great at making those decisions, or a team that you really want to focus in on that aspect of the game of basketball, then Chicago action is perfect for them. It's going to create that advantage. It's going to allow them to make a decision, and it's going to flow very naturally for your players. And lastly, it's great in special situations. There are so many wrinkles like Chicago twist, staggered Chicago, slice Chicago, and much, much more that you can use out of the base Chicago series. In special situations, you can always add one of these wrinkles, and it's going to be extremely tough for opponents to defend. And my complete course that you can check out in the link below, I get into how to teach Chicago action from the very beginning all the way through SSGs and even live game simulations. You're definitely going to want to check out the full course. But in this sneak peek, I do want to mention with base Chicago action, there's a couple of different ways that the on-ball defenders could defend this action. Most frequently, they're going to fight over this screen that we're going to see here, this pin down. They're going to fight over and often fight over this dribble handoff. They could come under it. They could switch or bump the coverage. So 02's defender could then bump the coverage to 01's defender who can jump out. That can be very, very difficult. Or teams can push or ice it. And when I say push it, they can actually get their defender to put their butt to this screen by 04 and force 0-2 to come off to the baseline. Now, there's a lot of wrinkles that you can run off of this. Obviously, a backdoor cut is an option, but there's some wrinkles and things you can do with 0-4, including twist Chicago action that a lot of coaches like, where you might get a screen from 0-4 and then 0-2 wraps back around and screens for 0-4. There's the twist aspect of it right here. 0-4 sets a screen, 0-2 loops back and screens for them, and then we get into the dribble handoff. That's a little wrinkle if teams are trying to ice or push you to the baseline, or give you some other different looks that you can use off of it. So many things you can do. The off-ball defenders, obviously, as I mentioned, they can certainly switch. You can get 0-4 or 0-1 to switch. It's usually 0-1. They could certainly soft hedge. You could see 0-1 more in 0-1's defender kind of in the paint, soft hedging to not allow 0-2 to get downhill off of this. They could hard hedge it and not allow 0-2 to turn the corner. A lot of times 0-2 might split it, or on a slip hit 0-1's cutting down the middle. And, you know, with these numbers, you're thinking 0-1's a point guard. A lot of times this ends up being a horn set, ends up being a 4 or 5 type player. I just put 0-1 in this spot thinking like if it's out of a 5-0. But a lot of times, like with Loyola Chicago, this was their center who was initiating a dribble handoff, who could then slip to the basket. And the last thing is the hard hedge or the blitz, which I kind of like against Chicago action, because you really put pressure back on them. They're putting pressure on defenses by getting downhill, creating this advantage off this pin down into a dribble handoff. So you know what? Try to hard hedge them. Try to blitz them and cause them to retrace their steps, and you might have some opportunities to gain turnovers against Chicago action. In my course on CoachTube, which again, the link is in the description below, I take you through staggered Chicago action and many wrinkles off of the Chicago series. Right now, I just want to share with you a couple of base clips. And the team that I thought ran this the best in the NCAA tournament was, of course, Loyola Chicago. In this clip, you're going to see the defense. They're not going to switch. They're going to fight over the screen, as we see down below here. And the offensive player is going to turn the corner. They're going to attack, and they're going to hit the roll. So here's the offensive player. Here is the dribble handoff that's going to be initiated. And then this player is going to roll. As I mentioned in my last slide, I had 0-1 in this spot, but this is 0-5 for Loyola Chicago, and it often is for teams, because off this dribble handoff, they're going to roll. If this player soft hedges or hard hedges, it's a great opportunity to get this center in a mismatch. Let's take a look at this first clip. You have a reminder down below that we are going to see no switch. They're going to come over the screen. We're going to get a soft hedge, and then we're going to get this lob pass. Let's take a look at it right here. You see that we have a small advantage created. We have this defender on the hip of the offensive player. This player gets caught flat-footed. Very good offensive player for Illinois. Excellent. But in this situation defensively, which he did some nice things in this game defensively, but he gets caught flat-footed. As he gets caught flat-footed, this player is going to attack. He's just going to lob it up, and we're going to get a nice tip in for 2 points. Let's take a look at this clip one more time at full speed. We're going to see this dribble handoff, the pin down. There it is. There's the dribble handoff, small advantage, and 2 points. In my course on CoachTube, you can see all 3 of the next clips that would be coming up. I'm just going to show you one of them to give you an idea. We're going to see no switch by the defense, and they're going to come under the screen. So we look right here. You see this defender who's circled coming under the screen. It's going to allow this offensive player to just pull up off of it. This is another way that you're creating an advantage. They come over, you get downhill, small advantage. They come under, you can spot up behind the screen. And if this is a good shooter for your team, it's very difficult to defend. I love Chicago action because based on what the defense does, the offense has very simple reads. So let's take a look at the first of the 3 clips. So we're going to get this action initiated here. And right now we're going to get this defender who kind of sets a little bit of a back screen, but he's going to turn. This offensive player probably should have came down a little bit further to set up their defender, but I felt like they were pretty comfortable that they had an advantage. So they stick their foot in the ground. He's going to turn and set a wide pin down here, and then we're going to get our dribble handoff. Off of this dribble handoff, the defender, as I mentioned, is going to come underneath. So this player is just going to spot up, and they're going to knock down a three-pointer here. Now, obviously, you could run this dribble handoff along the three-point line as a high school team, as a college professional team. They can run it a little bit deeper because their players have a little bit more range. And we're going to see this player right here spot up, and this defender just can't get there in time, and he's going to knock down this three-pointer. Liberty is one of the best teams at running this action, and I'll put a link to the Chicago series run by Liberty that I have on my YouTube channel down in the description below. Here's one more base clip that I want to share with you, which shows the defense not switching and coming over the screen. Offense is going to turn the corner. They're going to see the help, and they're going to kick. So here the offensive player has their three levels that they're going to read. The first level is their defender. They beat them. The second level is the defender who is on the roller. The defender on the roller is going to come over. The third level, and really great players are able to read these three levels. And this is something, if you're going to run this action, really any screen and roll action that creates an advantage, players should start to recognize the different levels. The third level is this help defender helping the helper, right? Here's the help defender coming off. So he's getting in now to kind of tag this roller. So this player, high basketball IQ, they beat their first defender. They see the second defender step in the lane. They can't finish. Third defender is going to tag. So they're then going to kick that ball outside. And oftentimes it'll be a three-pointer. In this clip, we're actually going to see a quick dump inside for 2 points. But those are the three levels that you're going to see when you use pick and roll action, or in this instance, Chicago action, the pin down into the dribble handoff. So let's take a look at this clip and look for all three levels off of this action. There's the dribble handoff. So we're going to see again the small advantage it creates. I love this, especially at all levels. They run it at the professional level. You can run it at the high school level. You can run it at the college level. I love it at the high school level. I know a lot of high school coaches follow this channel. You're creating an advantage. This is every SSG that you do in practice with your team. Create a small advantage, make decisions, offer those advantages, and look to score. Allow your athletes to get in space, make those decisions, and hopefully get easy baskets out of it. So here's this player turning the corner. Now we're going to see the three levels. So level one, he beats his defender. Level two, he's going to read the help defender. Help defender steps up. Level three, this tag player comes over. He might have been able to actually dump this inside, but he sees this player kind of cheating in a little bit. He says, you know what? I'm going to kick this out. On the kick, this player is going to catch. They could square up and shoot, but this defender, offensive player, does a great job sailing the defender. This is Krutwig, who had a great March Madness this year. High IQ player, great center. He's going to sail this defender right here. And it's an easy dump. Look at that. Look at that sail he gets. That's a great clip to show. If you have post players on your team, he gets a great sail, gets him on his hip, and it's going to be an easy 2 points. So let's take a look at this one more time. And as we see it at full speed, recognize the advantage off the dribble handoff, the three levels, and the kick out read here, and then nice easy dump inside for 2 points. Now look, I can't give it all away because I hope that you're going to invest in my CoachTube course, which coaches have said has helped them tremendously to learn about this action and the value it can have for their team. There is so much more included in that course. For example, the Staggered Chicago series, there's a whole section on that, and also advanced actions like Chicago Twist. You're definitely going to want to check out that course, but I would be remiss if I didn't show you some counters that come off of Chicago action. And obviously the most simple one is the backdoor option. What if teams take away the pin down. In this clip here, we're going to see this defender be very aggressive against the pin down. So this player is going to cut backdoor. This is a clip from a high school team and a good friend of mine that I met in the coaching circles via social media. I've talked to him a couple of times, Coach Tyler Bardo. He has great videos on my YouTube channel where he talks about using wide pin downs and also using wide pin downs out of the pinch post. I'll also add a link to that in my description below. But Coach Bardo's team does a great job here reading this and making a backdoor cut. Let's take a look at this clip so you can see if teams cheat, how you can take advantage. So as I noted in this clip, the defense is going to push or ice. They're going to really take away the back door. You can call it overplaying the so as I mentioned in this clip, the defense is really going to overcompensate for this pin down. They're going to push, or to use ball screen terminology, they're going to ice it. They're going to push this offensive player to the baseline. And Coach Bardo's team does a great job reading that and then making a backdoor cut. They can either finish with a layup, they can kick out to the opposite corner for a three-pointer. There's a lot of options out of it, but I know the teams are going to do this if you use this action. So you have to have counters off it. And the backdoor is the most simple one that you can use. In my Coach Tube course, I share with you several other counters that you can use off Chicago action. So we're going to see Coach Bardo's player here catch the ball in what would be considered the pinch post. It's a triangle offense terminology, but also in horn sets, we're going to see players catch the ball in this area. We're going to see the defender icing, downing, pushing this player. We're not going to let you get the pin down. We're not going to let you get the pin down. Okay, great. You don't want me to get the pin down? I'll take a hard step up. I'll create some space under the basket, and I'm going to make this cut. These two defenders, if they come in and help, it's a kick out, easy kick out outside to the shooter. If they decide to stunt and recover and they think you're going to make that pass, then it's an easy 2 points for a layup. Really, really simple read. So here we go. We're going to see a couple steps up. Nice job setting up the defender. Here's the backdoor cut. These players have their head on a swivel, and we have to see what they do in order to see how this player is going to react. So they step in a little bit late, albeit he could certainly finish, but look how open these players are. This is why I love Chicago action. You have your base action that creates an advantage off a pin down dribble handoff. Teams are going to cheat. Well, here's a simple counter. Cut back door, forces the help defenders to come in. Look at these players. You set up a great shooter in this corner. It's a kick to them, and they're scoring all day if teams want to cheat or push, ice that player to the baseline. I'm going to play this through one more time at full speed. We're going to see this player do a great job setting up their defender. They choose to try to finish in this instance. But as we can see, as we watch this clip through, there are many options off it. Great counter to base Chicago action. I wasn't kidding when I said I love Chicago action. It creates a small advantage for your offensive player and allows them to get into the paint and make decisions. This is something we work on every single day in practice as coaches with our SSGs. Players start with the small advantage, get into the paint, and then make a decision to shoot, score, or kick the ball to a teammate. Chicago action is going to allow you to do that in games, and I know that you're going to love it with your team. One of the things that I shared a piece of in this breakdown is the counter actions off of Chicago. You can obviously make a backdoor cut anytime they try to push you or overplay it. But in my Coach Tube course, you'll also see twist Chicago action, which is run by the Boston Celtics and the New York Liberty, among many other teams. Staggered Chicago action used by the Phoenix Suns, Loyola Chicago, and many, many more teams, and other counter actions that you can use off Chicago. Again, you can click the link in the description below to find my course on Coach Tube. If you like this video breakdown, then make sure you hit that like button down below, turn on your notifications, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great video breakdowns each and every week. As always, get better every day.